Right. Hello, guys. It's High Priestess Jamila. So, y'all, I am sitting my lazy self here, and I just do not feel like getting up to do nothing. I am tired. And so I'm just going to lay here until it's time for me to get up. Let me plug this phone up. I wanted to kind of continue the conversation that I was having about the experience that I had last night. But I stated that I had never done anything like that before, but I had forgot. And so I went inside of my phone because I have an iPhone, and I don't know why or how this happened, but my Amber Alerts was turned off. And so I turned them back on, okay, because I'm ready for to do what I know to do. But I was telling you guys about the strangest experience that I had, and I know it was spirit guided and it was spirit led. And I wanted to come and talk about this as well as Amber Alerts and my experience with working Amber Alerts, okay? Just in my spare time, volunteering my time. And I wanted to discuss it, just when I'm not discussing other stuff. So last night, I was scrolling through YouTube and I run across this article about Gabourey Sidibe. Okay. And this is not in any way like, you know what I'm saying? But for some reason, right afterwards, because I was just like, oh my gosh, she had a baby. I was I had gotten on the phone with my daughter and we had kind of talked about her having a baby, and we talked for a few minutes before I got off with her. And so, probably like maybe an hour or so afterwards, all of a sudden, I start getting this vision. And if you're disturbed by stuff like this, you may want to click off. Okay. But I all of a sudden started getting this vision of this baby, like crying, like I've had four children and I've taken care of a lot of children. And I know how old a baby is by the way that it cries. And this baby didn't sound any older than 3 months of age. Just like really, the baby, it was kind of a big baby, and the baby looked to me to be about somewhere between 6 weeks and 3 months of age. Okay. Hey, Super Queen. Hello. And so I'm seeing this baby crying just at the like in distress, like, and it sounded like I started getting this kind of like this vision that something was not right. And for some reason, instinctively and intuitively, I was drawn towards this child. So I wasn't in the astral or either traveling that long to really even know where this child was located. Okay. But I'm pretty sure the child was in the United States. And so this baby is just crying and screaming. And I could see what was getting ready to happen to the baby. So when I got there, I could see that it had not happened yet, right? Judging by what I could see. But I could see this man. I'm not going to give a description of the man. I don't do stuff like that because people be watching and you just never know. Okay. I learned my lesson. doing these readings and stuff, and I don't do stuff like that. So, hello, Danny, quick hello. So I go there and there's these lights and stuff set up and the baby screaming, and I look at the mama, and the mama is like sitting, like kind of like sitting on the couch with her head just all the way back, and it appears that the mother was asleep, but I could tell that the mother was more so in like a dark trance. And because whenever you go to what what I figured out is that when I'm doing that kind of spirit work, that if you're gonna see the baby, you're gonna see the mother. But this man had this camera set up, and he was getting ready to take his pants off. He had the baby's diaper off, and I instantly knew what to do to this man. And I grabbed him by his neck, and like I clawed him by the neck, and I could see him getting sick. His pulse quickened when I grabbed him. And I grabbed him, and somehow, because when I'm in the astral, I can project myself into as many people as I want. So I grabbed him, kept him away from the baby. The baby stopped crying, right? And was just looking at what was going on. So one of my astral selves had this man pinned up against the wall, sick, broken down. And then I went and woke the mother up. and I told her, I said, this man, you need to wake up. This man is getting ready to sexually assault your child. Right? I didn't say that when it happened. And I know for a fact that it was happening in real time. And I've actually looked for a news story on it. Let me finish my thing. Um, and I haven't found anything because everything doesn't touch the news, and I can imagine that there's probably some people that are angry at me uh, because of that, because people want their child pornography. So I wake the mother up, and the mother's like in some kind of weird trance state. But as soon as I told her what was happening, I said, you have to wake up. Something bad is about to happen to your child. So I do that, and I immediately go back in there with the child to start to console them, because what people don't realize is that babies and children, they are very smart. They're not stupid like people think, right? So this child knew that his and it looked like a girl from what I could see. The child knew that its life was in danger, and something bad was going to happen, because this man was getting ready to take the life of that child. And for some reason, I could hear that child screaming for me. And so I went to console the child, and I actually held the child in my arms, and the mother came in, and I still got him pinned up against the wall. So I'm digging my nails in his neck and in his stomach so that he can experience a tremendous amount of pain, so that it would give the police time enough to get there. And the police did get called. Okay. And so once I saw the police come, then I left, right? So but I've been keeping an eye on that baby, and the baby is okay. that was the first time that had ever happened. Like, there's been times where clients have been in trouble, and I've went after them to look after them. And then, of course, my children that have been in trouble, I use astral travel to protect my children, even the ones that are here close to me, because sometimes I can see stuff coming at them. And of course, when I'm doing certain meditations to remove. Oh, yeah, well, I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't dreaming. I was wide awake when it happened, so I wasn't dreaming. Um, and I felt good about that. I felt good about doing that, and I'm gonna do that more often because while I can't help every baby or child in the world, I know that I can do my part. And so I was discussing it in the last video, and I had said that I had never done anything like that before, but I have. So for like the past 3 or 4 years, um, I had been doing the same thing in response to Amber Alerts. And for some reason, Spirit told me, they was like, you need to check your Amber Alerts because you can really help these kids by keeping track of them. And so there have, I can't even count how many times I have traveled to the location, and like the cars, and literally was like flying above the cars, sitting next to the person that has the child, and telling them, take the child home, take the child back to its mother. And each and every time I did that, the child was always found alive, or either they were returned home to safety. Stuff like that makes me feel good, and it makes me feel better. Because the first time I had heard about a story about a tragedy to a baby was baby Brianna. And then that led to other tragic stories. And this was before I had started developing my spiritual gifts, and before I started practicing. Um, well, it was actually afterwards, but I had stopped practicing. And it's something that has, it's weighed in heavy on me. And so I just thought about that, and I've had my iPhone for mm, about a year, and I've been so wrapped up in other stuff that I feel bad, because I'm like, I have not been getting my Amber Alerts. So, but Spirit is telling me to not feel bad, because it's not just me out there. There's others that are doing the same thing that I'm doing already. We need more people to use their spiritual gifts because it works. I know people don't want to believe it, right? But I'm telling you that I have done that with, this guy had to have been over 100 just the past several years, Amber Alerts, where I have gotten them. And sometimes the Amber Alerts would get on my nerve because it's just as loud. It's like, oh my God, what's happening now? But each time I would, because I don't need to be laying down or even in a meditative spot to astral travel. I can do it from anywhere. I can do it if I'm driving. I can do it when I'm cooking. I can do it at any time. And and so people need to know the truth, and people need to know that we can create a better reality. And it makes me it makes me very sad when I see people that lose hope, or they attack people like me who really have it in our heart to help people. I can't save the whole world, right? Not everybody in existence. You know what I'm saying? But I can do my part. But yeah, that's really interesting. Like every single time, if you are somebody that has visions of children being kidnapped, or like, for example, if you have a vision of children being held captive somewhere, it is actually your duty, your spiritual duty, to do something. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I got enemies in very, very dark places. I'm talking about the deep, dark Mariana Trench, because they didn't want me to save those children. And with some of those Amber Alerts, the person that took the child planned on doing something to or with the child. And I was able to command that person. Now, I don't know while I'm doing it if I'm commanding an evil spirit out of that person. Some people are just evil spirited, their spirit is just evil. Okay. Um, but I was able to force that person to take the child home. But you know what? I had stopped doing that, like I said, for about a year. I haven't been working Amber Alerts, and I'm going to start again. Okay. I believe that the dark entities are just the hateful, evil energy and spirits that get off on the torturing of babies and children and just people. I believe that they're angry with me, whoever these dark entities are. So some people that can see, they can see those dark entities. I mean, you need to realize that they can't touch me. They can't touch me. Okay? Ever. But you can possibly see them and get it confused, because I've heard of people saying, oh, she has all this dark energy, this dark energy. Yeah, but you know why I'm public enemy number one? Look at how many children I have saved. And I think what's going to end up happening is that I'm going to save more in the future. And they don't like for me to do that. And I can tell you that it has nothing to do with Lilith or the spirits of the infernal. It's just evil. And those entities don't like me because I stopped their blood sacrifices. I stopped them from putting children through a tremendous amount of turmoil and trauma for what do they call it, adrenochrome or something. They're feeding off of these children and their pain, and they don't like me. They don't. In fact, I've really created a reality, even just recently, where those entities do not exist, right? And that reality can be created no matter where I'm at, whether or not I'm here at on Cumberland Way, or or if I'm at a hotel room or an extended stay, or if I am at a Airbnb. It doesn't matter where I'm at. That reality is still created. But I believe that what's happening is that when I'm saving these children and babies, I believe that I'm going into another reality. And I plan on doing it until I stop breathing. Cause I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't, you know what I mean? So now I noticed that sometimes when I travel to these other places, in particular when it has anything to do with whatever this reality is that causes somebody to take a child away from its mama, to take it towards danger, what my spirits will do, and sometimes Vepar will have me do it, is they will take me through this watery area, so that I can cleanse myself before I come back into this reality. And it doesn't happen every time, but they want me to start doing that whenever you travel through, and you're in a bad situation like that, where those energies are at, is to cleanse yourself. And sometimes I'm floating, sometimes I'm swimming, and sometimes I'm flying, right? But sometimes I'm walking. And so there's been times when I've traveled to places, and I'll be walking through, because the astral to me is a hallway, it's a gateway, right, to other worlds. Okay, the astral itself. Some people may disagree, but there's been times when I'll go through and I'll travel through and I'll go back and I'll see the doorway back to myself, and I'll do it real slow, and rain will just come down and it'll be cleansing me, you know. And I'll just take the time to allow this very clean rain to just come down upon me before I come back to my body. And does it does it make me feel odd or weird or crazy? No, because every single time I have done those Amber Alerts and I get confirmation that those children made it back home safely, I know I ain't crazy, because it's been too many times. So yeah, I just thought I would share that with y'all, because it's that evil is something that we don't have to accept. And I want people to know that. I want people to start using their spiritual gifts, and even I, But since I've had to deal with this court case with the landlord and court case with this and that, you know, I've had to utilize my astral travel for other things that I don't even want to, that I'm never going to talk about. And so, but like, I get irritated because I feel like these people and the things that they do and their stupid agendas, why I don't know, is has been distracting me from what I'm supposed to be doing. And it hurts me a lot because trust me, I keep track of what goes down. And I'm just now getting to the point where when I hear about things that happen, it doesn't make me feel like my chest is about to explode because it hurts, right? But I have to keep myself good because if I don't, then I won't be here to do what I'm supposed to do. And I've always stated that I do feel as though on some level, um, you know, that it's not necessarily an incarnated angel because I feel like whenever I do permanently leave this body, that I will be doing the same thing in the afterlife. And it's I'm not in a hurry, trust me. Listen, I'm into earthly pleasures. so so I um I can do that now, and so I'm really excited about you know getting, because I know a lot of people, when you say lake house, people, oh, that's high and that's grand, high society, da da da. But it's not about being high society. I don't even really want to be a part of society half the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just that that water is very soothing to me. And it's gonna provide a place and a space for me to, meditate easily. And then also water for me is very healing. Now, an ocean for me would be very scary. I believe I had a past life where I died on a boat. So the ocean kind of scares me, but lakes and rivers and things of that nature don't scare me. Um, what's that one lake? Lake Lanier doesn't scare me either. Okay, but not that I would. I decided I wouldn't take the chance of trying to live on Lake Lanier, and I think that that's why they price the houses so high, so most people can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a very dangerous area to be in. Uh, yeah, and I've actually gotten firsthand experience with some of the spirits that run through our pipes. Okay, through the Atlanta area and even in Stone Mountain. Our water supply is Lake Lanier. Okay, and we just recently had a water main break or pipe bust or something where they had a boil order or something in Atlanta. I don't know if it affected my area, but it kind of freaked me out. It was like, what? So anyway, just back to what I was saying with as far as like what I'm doing. Definitely the Amber Alerts, but I'm gonna start keeping a diary. Um, like writing down all that I see. That experience that I had last night, I didn't stay away from my body long enough to observe where I was at. Um, and they, believe it or not, so Danny Quick asks, where were these children being held? So, believe it or not, those people that are doing things with these children, they actually have certain entities that are protecting those areas from being discovered. So, you can see it in the vision, but those people are very crafty at what they do. They're very crafty. So they don't, something like that, like a child pedophile ring, or if they're using these kids for whatever they're using them for, please believe that they have some kind of protection to block out people like me. I mean, those people are even blocking out God. And I think that once I get my coven, if that's something that coven members are interested in being a part of, we can do that. But at this point, right now, with so many people attacking me, like maybe in the next month or two, I've got to take like a month break from social media, guys. I think it'll probably be sometime in July when I take a break. Like, like seriously, I need a break from social media. Um, may not be a month, but maybe about a week or two or something. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, you said, would you testify that in court? Um, I don't really want to discuss that as far as court. Because I'm pretty sure that, like when they bust these places, right? When they bust places like that, they pretty much already know. Okay. Oh yeah, I know. I know, Aura. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And you said I don't drink anything but bottled water. Yeah, I had just made a pot of coffee, and I came upstairs and I was getting ready to drink some coffee that day, and I was like, "Oh dang, I saw it on the news, or like I saw it on YouTube actually." And I was like, "Oh dang, am I safe to drink this water?" So I didn't drink the coffee because I was like, "Ooh." Because I don't, if it's a boil order, you definitely want to boil that water. um because it could be pathogens of E. coli. You don't want to be drinking that, okay? For real, seriously. So anyway, that's something that like is very important to me, and that way I don't have to talk about it, because talking about it and acknowledging it definitely makes me feel better. Because, just because a person is a little person and they can't walk and they talk, they still have rights. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like we are like an industrialized society to where it's kind of like if you're not old enough to work and earn a living, you kind of don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that now, but I feel like sometimes when I hear about things, you know what I mean? Like, it's very and like I said, I refuse to live in realities that some of these people have created. You know what I mean? But I am willing to help those that are. And I gotta, oh my God, I gotta clear my head. You know what I mean? Jam, jam. Hey, Unique. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Aura. So do that's something like, if, like, for example, if I'm seeing something happening to anybody in real time, right? And my spirits tell me go to that person, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to sit and say, "Hey, I can see that, but I'm not going to say anything." And I can't do that. I can't I can't do that. Yeah, or I used to want to be a cop when a long time ago. I used to want to be a doctor, then it was a pediatrician, then for a little while I wanted to be a cop. Yeah, and you see where I'm at. So, yeah, yeah, that's true. But, all I know is that I heard the baby crying, and I didn't even know why the baby was crying. Like, I can imagine that somebody like me, if I hear a baby crying and the baby's been crying for a while, and it may not even be nothing bad getting ready to happen to him, but maybe the parents are knocked out cold sleep, you know, I would travel through and say, "Hey, wake up, your baby's hungry. Your baby's crying, okay?" 'Cause I don't know. Having four children, I learned how to sleep like a feather. So, you know, and so I would always have my babies right next to me in like a co-sleeper or either their bassinet. So as soon as my baby made any kind of noise, I was up. You up? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But see, how do you call the cops when you don't know the location of the person? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, but I was able to, and it wasn't a vision. This was happening in real time. And from here on out, I'm going to like record it and write it down, like the time and the dates. It had to have been probably at about, oh, I think I can figure out. I can go by when I had talked to my daughter, and it was a little ways after that, around the time. Yeah. I made the mother call the cops. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, it ain't just child services, it's parents failing their children, but sometimes parents have problems like that, you know what I'm saying? But, I feel like um yeah, when you make something all about money, and then you add, you're welcome, Aura, and then you add a pandemic to it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does. It really does. I can't imagine. Oh, I'm sorry, Unique. Yeah, it does really start with the parents. I agree. I agree. I be seeing people do stuff that I would never do, you know? Like, and I just and it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. And I just it made me feel so good to be able to help that child. And that was the one thing that I've been missing for like the past year. I'm like, where are my Amber Alerts? And they were turned off on my phone. I don't know how. I don't know if I did it or it just so happened to happen, but I do have them turned back on and I'm ready to go with my Amber Alerts because that felt good like every single time. Like, and Amber Alerts are easy because you know what car they in, you can see the person and what the person look like, and you know what the child looks like, and you know what the person looks like. And so, every single time, like every single time I worked my Amber Alerts, that child was returned to safety. So, yeah. Yeah, well, Danny Quick said we need free mental health care at least. You know what? You're right about that. You're right about that because you know what? I do believe in the field of psychiatry. I really do. But then again, I also believe in spirit. And I think that we need better spiritual understandings. You know what I mean? I think that that would definitely help too. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Well, not Danny Quick last night. Now, I will tell you, um, I think that, like I said, the mother was literally in a trance. And I think that if you are not aware of what can happen spiritually and the fact that people, because I could definitely see, like, what was this dude recording it for? Definitely some kind of weirdness, right? So, I lost my train of thought because somebody sent a bad psychic message to me talking about you gonna end up dead. Like, no, it's gonna happen to you and never to me, baby. Somebody's angry that I'm talking about this. Um, that mother though, she jumped straight into action, but you can't just walk around here an empty shell. You have to be aware of the things that can happen spiritually because that mother that I encountered yesterday, she actually did love and care about her child but was under some kind of weird trance state. Okay, right, exactly. Interesting that you would bring up Metatron. I might need to talk to Metatron. Yeah. Yeah, so like if you just, if you're the type of person that is not aware of what's really going on and things that can happen, because like I said, the mother was not asleep. Her eyes were wide open and she just kind of, her head, it fell back and her mouth was open. So she was not asleep. Her eyes were wide open, but it was like she was stuck. She was frozen in that spot. And when I was able to wake her up and jar her into back to consciousness, she quickly went into action. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God. And I don't know all the details. But my guess was that it was not the child's father, but sometimes, a lot of times it is the child's father. And so I think that a lot of people need to realize like what is going on, because for her to be in such a deep trance state that she didn't put herself in, someone else had put her in that trance to where she was in another world. And she wasn't on drugs. She looked perfectly healthy. What the house didn't look all, it wasn't like a, you know what I'm saying? Like one of those types of places, um, everything looked well kept. Um, and you know, you can't just, because basically somebody had put her in a trance so that she would not be lucid and awake to know what was going on with her baby. Now, of course, she would have found out the next day or whenever she woke up, because she would have found that baby and looked at the diaper and said, wait a minute, whoa, what happened to my baby? Right? You know, my spirits wanted to make sure that the child was intact. Okay. Seriously. Because it was and I feel good about that. You know, I've been feeling good all day because of that. And so I'm ready for some more. That's why I turned on my Amber Alerts. You know, I don't care about what time I get woke up, you know, in the middle of the night. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Dark circles under my eyes, it's okay. You know, from not getting sleep. And so, you know, that for me, honestly, that is, once I do erect my coven, that's going to be, you know, I can see a couple of sister witches who have the same interests that, you know, I'll be able to, um, teach how to do the same thing. Because a lot of people will ask, they'll say, why did God let this happen? Why is God letting this happen? I don't believe God is letting it happen. I believe we're letting it happen. We're letting those things happen. And we can do so much better. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it. I believe it. And I believe in myself. I don't care what nobody says to me. And my spirits was like, what happened to your Amber Alerts? And they was like, you helped so many kids. And it just was confirmation. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I thought I would share that with you guys. I hope that this conversation brings you guys hope and comfort, and then even ideas, because I don't, listen, if I saw somebody saying what I'm saying or making a video saying that they are doing the same thing, you think I'm going to complain about it? No, as long as they're genuine and they're just not telling tall tales. But as long as they seriously are doing the same thing, I'm not going to say, well, I'm the only one that can do that. Well, that doesn't make any sense, because there's like millions of kids and babies in this world, and I can't be in a million places at one time. Okay. So, I would love that. I would love to see more people being proactive. But so many people, excuse me, honey, so many people are, so many people are so preoccupied, which is understandable. We all have to pay bills. We all have to um, make money. You know what I mean? But I truly believe that people like me, our destiny was this. Our destiny was doing work like this. That is our job, right? And I don't have to get on disability from the government. Like, I'm not disabled. I just have gifts. And I handle my gifts a lot better than a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? I've always been grounded with it, even when I was a little kid. Like, some of the stuff that I would do. That's why my auntie took care of me. I can't wait to see my auntie. I am over here protecting her like a mug. Like, you ain't going nowhere, lady. Like, I'm coming to hug you. She took care of me up until I was 5, because my mother, my parents were going through whatever they were going through. And that was back when teenage pregnancies were very taboo. And so I'm not angry at my mother, because I've never been angry at my mother because of that, because I love my auntie. You know what I'm saying? But pretty sure that there was certain occurrences that would happen. And more people need to know that sometimes you may give birth to a child that has these gifts, and there's these spirits around them, and you need to know how to handle that instead of just, saying, oh, that's evil, this child is possessed by the devil. That really irritates me. That, like y'all just can't even imagine how much that part irritates me when people say stuff like that, right? um yeah, I agree, sis. I agree, sis. Yeah. And it was one other thing that I was going to say about that. There's this movie called I think it's called Firstborn. Is it called Firstborn? It was on Netflix. I think that's what it's called. And that movie was like some of the closest that I've seen to like real spiritual information. I'll try to share it to the community while when I get out of here, but I did get slightly triggered by that one movie, Insidious, the chapter where they showed Elise's life, and how you do more damage when you stay ignorant to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're doing more damage by, by saying, oh, those are powers of the devil, that it's such a self-destructive force, people looking at it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think on it's either the Lifetime Movie Network or one of these networks, they have a lot of videos where they are talking about children and families, and they're telling these true stories about children and families that, children that have had past lives, children that already knew their parents, children that, you know what I'm saying? And that's very interesting too, because sometimes I'll sit and binge watch those. So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's something that I am actually very interested in, and I've been feeling really good just getting back to my old self, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be something to be scared of, you know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, Aura. Well, mm, okay. You're on my channel, so I actually don't have a problem with Satan. I ain't gonna, we're not gonna go there though. Let's just live in this moment of love and light right now, okay? So anyway, y'all, I think it's a fantastic idea, and I hope that right now I am encouraging people to be a savior of more people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to be the only one. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't do this by myself anyway. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And it's not that it like, do I feel that it interferes with me having a normal life? To me, it is normal. It is the norm. And honestly, to be honest with you, I feel like it's been something that I've been doing since I was a baby. But when you're a baby, you don't remember all that stuff from when you were a baby. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even remember when my aunt's son passed away of leukemia. I don't have no memory of it whatsoever. And I think it probably was because it was traumatizing, because he took care of me a lot and, loved me a lot. The only thing I have is the stories from my auntie telling me, you used to communicate with my son, with Keith. You remember him? You don't remember him. They always, and I'm pretty sure that when I see her, she's gonna remind me of that again. Like, she just, and I want to have more extensive conversations with her. So, And it'll be soon that I'll be back home with the fam bam, and you know what I'm saying. I'll be visiting my auntie, and I'll be visiting the graves of my family and everything. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, I've enjoyed living in Georgia, though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a lot of fuck shit going on over here, though. Okay, a lot of craziness, but otherwise, you know, time for me to go back home and make snow angels and snowmen and build snowmen. Cause we be getting enough snow down in Kansas City to make snowmen and snow angels, and it's a beautiful place to live, in my humble opinion. So, for different reasons. Anyway, now I'm rambling. I gotta go. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for listening and communing with me. And I will see y'all later. Okay. Hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. Just because I want people to see this, in case you've been disparaging, then now you know that you have the power. Okay. I was born in the Midwest. Yes, Loveline. Yeah, I was born there. I was born and raised. I didn't leave Kansas until I was 36. So I'm coming back. And it ain't no dang on. Was making me mad. Love you too, Super Queen Bee. You know what was making me mad is when people was trying to compare me to Dorothy and Wizard of Oz. Like, oh, come on. Like, I am coming back, man. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that dry heat in the summertime, that fall, like when fall hits, and then that snow, and it gets so quiet and peaceful, and yeah, I'm gonna be loving it. I am. I already told all the kids. I said I'm dragging all of y'all outside to do snow angels and to build snowmen, because that's what we did before, and I miss. I'm definitely very homesick. I really am. It took me coming here to Georgia, and living in Georgia was a part of my journey. It wasn't meant to harm anybody. It was just a part of the journey. But when I come, and I'm going back. So, hmm yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I just wish that I could have spent more time with my mother before she passed away. So that's something that's gonna always be that bittersweet place in my heart. You know what I mean? I'm definitely coming back. Trust me. It's happening. It's happening right now. Got some rough spots and rough areas to work through, but we definitely, me and the boys are going home, and I think I'm gonna record the reunion with me and my other children, but I'm not gonna upload it right away. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might. You know what I'm saying? Because what is anybody gonna do? I'm not afraid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know she is. It's a lot of things about my mom that I have got to just so appreciate. And trust me, I have many memories of her and my father. You know what I'm saying? They just had a hard time understanding me, but they both do now. They both understand me now. I can tell you that. But okay, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all get some sleep. Y'all have a good one, okay? All right. Blessings, guys. Bye bye.